right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back. You're listening to Splash 105.5, by the way. It's 7:32, a Tuesday morning. Tunde is here. Good morning.
Good morning, Chacha. But this is not how we agreed that we're going to sign it.
This is
This
village
wasn't
people.
our agreement, right?
Village people are trying to get me this morning.
Chacha, you're not used to, breaking your words.
I'm sure. There's a new amendment to the NBC and this thing going on.
What we said had nothing to do with the NBC.
It did, because I'm sure before the mic would have closed, we'd probably have had some of them at the gates. But anyway.
Good morning to you, Chacha.
Good morning. Good morning. So, yesterday I was listening to Blessing on the evening sports show, and
Yes.
I think that she was talking about Ronaldo and how Portugal have
Got knocked out of the Euros 2020.
And considering his age, the next time he might be featuring, he could be around 40.
Yes.
How often do we see that happen? Superstar players who represent their countries at the age of 40 at say competitions like the Euros.
Zlatan Ibrahimovic was supposed to be part of the Euros, if not for last minute injury, and is 39. So if Zlatan could be dreaming of participating at the Euros, which to say that Ronaldo, who we all know is a freak of nature. I remember when he signed for Juventus, I think about 3 years ago, after his medicals, the team came out to say, well, he has the body of a 20-year-old.
Oh, wow.
So maybe when the next Euros will come in 4 years' time, when officially will be 40, maybe we'll still have the body of
a 24-year-old.
a 25-year-old. But again, you really cannot deny nature for too long.
Yeah.
But then again, there's World Cup next year.
So he gets to represent his country, yeah?
All things being equal, it should be there.
All things being equal. And Fermi and I were talking about France, the exits. But of course, I'm sure you guys are going to have all of that covered in the next 28 minutes or thereabouts of the show, yeah?
Absolutely.
All right.
Thank you so much, Chacha. Good to see you again.
Nice to be back.
Well, firstly, it was the defending champions of the Euros, and now world champions have been knocked out. I think this is playing to the script of Fermi. Hopefully, we'll see how far that we go. Remember what you said, was that it's going to be Italy versus France.
Yesterday, right? Are you talking about yesterday?
You said it yesterday or not?
Fermi, you've always had France. You've always had France.
I didn't say on it, but you said
Yes, I did. I was just trying to clarify that. Yes, I actually said it, but wasn't clear.
You said France, Italy final.
Yeah, definitely.
So one is out. It is out.
One is still in.
So what would that make you? Just in case the second one doesn't come through again.
You can't decide that.
I'm asking.
Let's wait and see.
It's a question.
When that time comes.
It's an hypothetical question.
No, when that time comes.
What would that make
I don't want to answer that question.
If anything, if we have learned anything so far from the Euros, is that anyone can be knocked out at any point in time.
Definitely.
I mean,
and another thing, you should never take Fermi's word for it.
No. You can't say that yet. I mean, you can
imagine a lot of people that would have. I apologize on Fermi's behalf.
What are you trying to say right now?
Allow me bring Faith in as well. Faith has always talked about France making it to the finals, France winning the Euros.
I mean, you're just trying to say this because you've not been able to say yours.
All entities, all temptations, to come out.
You need to be man enough. I mean, it's prediction. I am not a prophet. I made my prediction based on what we've seen so far, based on our previous occurrences, and it turned out to be like this. I mean, you should be man enough to be able to make your prediction today. Come on here and tell us the last two in the finals. I'm putting it to you this morning.
Okay, it's a super Tuesday. Wonderful people. Thank you very much for tuning in at this time. This is the Integrity Station, the Splash 105.5 FM. We're broadcasting live and direct from the big city of Ibadan, capital of Oyo State, Nigeria. And of course, the White House building, Felele. My name is Tunde Olawuwo. 26 minutes before 8 o'clock is the time. And trust me, from now till 8 o'clock, you're going to have a wonderful time with us, getting the best and the latest in the world of sports. We call it again Sports Bang. Well, you've heard the voice of Blessing Fowe unofficially, and of course Feromi Adeboyega officially. Because it's been called out, and then again
I've called you out.
It took about 3 minutes to explain. You didn't call me out because
I've called you out now by telling you to make your own prediction.
It's my prediction, not your prediction.
I've made mine. One has actually gone down with.
Since I've been doing mine. I mean, did I ever force anybody? And I've been I'm not forcing you. It right.
I'm not actually forcing you. I'm just asking you to.
You're trying to railroad me into making a prediction.
Just because yours didn't work out.
Just for agenda to agenda.
Okay.
Like seriously.
Okay. One is still in the box.
Don't take that one for it. It's a street lingo, okay? Blessing Fowe. Good morning.
Good morning to you, Tunde. Good morning, Feromi. Good morning, Ibadan. Great to be back here again. And of course, after what was an amazing night of football, not just with the game between France and Switzerland. I mean, it all started with Spain and Croatia. Yes. Croatia at the death. It felt like they were out. Only for them to
got that right yesterday.
I mean, yeah, I have to give that to him. Well, what a surprising, night of football. Switzerland, who would have thought, against world champions? I mean, it just shows that we are in for surprises at this era, and so far I believe it has lived up to expectations.
Sports return unexpected bounties. Sometimes you wonder, Switzerland
of all teams
against France, a France that could afford to maybe field 2-3 different teams.
What bitter, as a matter of fact.
I think one thing I've actually learned so far in these Euros is that don't underrate any team. I mean, these guys, these so-called underdogs, these so-called smaller teams have actually shown that they're ready to take on any big sides if they give the chance, and they did yesterday. I mean, even before that, look at what the kind of game Austria played against Italy. Trust me, if not that those Italians were so rugged till the very last minute, they would have actually taken the day. Yeah. And it all started even from the group stage. I mean, these guys, they are showing that if you want to, go through, if you want to go far, you have to earn it. We are not here to make jokes. We are not here to play. Okay. We are here to play football.
I'm rubbing my palms. Germany versus England.
Yeah.
I think one thing that will help the Three Lions of England is not to see the Germans as their rivals. Just go out there and play your game. Well, and hopefully doesn't get into penalties.
Well, they've been talking about how they can make history against Germans. They say
that all the time.
In the last 7 games against Germans have won 4 times. They've won 4 times and they're still unbeaten against England. So for them, they have a very, very huge mountain to climb, especially for a team that is like, all bronze and they're all about the talk, all about the hype, and then sometimes you
can't. Are you referring to England?
Yes, I am referring to England. Sometimes
all bronze, all about
all about the hype. Sometimes you don't see them perform. You don't see them perform. Sometimes, I say sometimes.
But they've got the players.
But it's all about the hype. They have the players. So how are they playing? How is they playing at the team? Gareth Southgate, what is his imprint on the team as a coach? These questions.
Okay, these questions begging for answers. We'll wait to see later this evening. It is Sports Bang. We're streaming live on our Facebook this morning. It's Splash 105.5 FM. Let's do this together, especially for you to see the face of Feromi. What happens to you when you make predictions and it then doesn't come through? When I first came into the studio, Feromi sat at a point where the cameras couldn't capture him.
So I was like,
today, are you making this all about me this morning?
I think you should reposition.
I mentioned 2
That's
things.
Where the camera
because
is.
One is out.
Please now, really. Please reposition.
The camera is right here.
You're backing the camera. I'm watching. You're backing the camera. Feromi, they can't see your face.
I'm the camera right.
No, you need to turn very well. Turn very well.
Today, let's continue.
Turn very well. Okay, let's quickly check out Wimbledon 2021. World number 4, Tsitsipas suffered a shock straight set defeat by American Francis Tiafoe on day 1 at Wimbledon. Third set, Tsitsipas, who reached the French Open final early in June, was beaten 6-4, 6-4, 6-3 by the impressive world number 57 Tiafoe on court 1. It is the third time in 4 attempts the 22-year-old Greek has exited Wimbledon in round 1. Elsewhere in the men's singles draw on Monday, world number 1 Novak Djokovic defeated British teenager Jack Draper 4-6, 6-1, 6-2, 6-2 on centre court. Andy Murray recomposed himself to ensure his Wimbledon singles return ended with a dramatic 4-set victory over 24th seed Nicolas Basilashvili. In his first singles match in SW19 since 2017, the two-time champion won 6-4, 6-3, 5-7, 6-3 against the Georgian Nicolas Bachelorsville. Let's talk about the women. Sloane Stephens produced a complete display to land a shock first-round win over two-time champion Petra Kvitova on day one of Wimbledon. Also, one number 4, Ariana Sabalenka dominated Monica Niculescu in the first match of the 2021 championships, played under the roof of Court 1 as rain delayed action elsewhere. The Belarusian number 2 seed in the women's draw took 29 minutes to seal set 1 and closed out a 6-1, 6-4 win. Day 1's rain disrupted schedule meant Venus Williams and Czech 8th seed Karolina Pliskova were unable to play their respective matches, but other highly seeded players got their tournament on the way. American 4th seed Sofia Kenin beat China's Zhengyu Wang 6-4, 6-2, while Poland's 7th seed Iga Swiatek overcame He Sun-wei of Chinese Tiape 6-4, 6-4. Spain's Gabin Muguruza, 11th seed, dropped one game on her way to a 6-love, 6-1 win over France's Fiona Ferro. And from tennis, we'll check out athletics. Remember, in the Wimbledon, it's still early stages. So, for now, a lot of mixed results, one will say. 4-time Olympic champion Mo Farah says it will not be retiring after failing to qualify for the Tokyo Games. Farah missed the 10,000 meters selection time at the British Championships on Friday and then suggested he would have to consider his future on the track. The 38-year-old Briton won the 5,000 meter and 10,000 meters double at both the London and Rio Games. Farah fell 19 seconds outside the Olympic qualifying mark for the 10,000 meters event in Friday's race in Manchester. Well, good that is not giving up. You know what they say, he will fight and run away, lives to fight another day. Well, age is not on his side, but then again, he's still running. Well, the country's continent to the Tokyo 2020 Olympic game, which starts from July 23rd, will leave Nigeria in 2 batches. That's according to the Youth and Sport Development Minister Sunday Dare. He said this yesterday at a ministerial meeting on Tokyo 2020 held at the Media Center, MKO Abiola Stadium in Abuja. The minister said the first batch is expected to leave on July 6, while the second batch leaves on July 13 in accordance with the organizers' rules. Remarkably, the country will not feature in the football event, which kicks off with the women category on July 21. The men's category will begin on July 22nd. South Africa, Egypt, and Cote d'Ivoire are Africa's representatives in the men's football event, while Zambia is Africa's sole team in the women's tournament of the Olympic Games. Meanwhile, Sports Minister Sunday Dare has hit back at Samson Siasia's claims that he received no help from the federal government during his fight to overturn his life ban from all football-related activities by FIFA. Dare launched a scathing attack on Siasia, describing the former Super Eagles coach as a liar, and insisted the federal government provided funds in support of Siasia's legal battle. In a media conference following the CAS ruling, Siasia claimed to have been cast aside by his former teammate in the national team and the federal government in his most trying times. Specifically, Siasia said his appeal to Dare for assistance was brushed aside with claims of "we don't have money" in quotes, and suggested the minister was scared to approach President Muhammadu Buhari over the issue. Well, let us listen to this one by Sunday Dare, the Honorable Minister of Youth and Sports.
I want to say something about the Nigerian government. This my issue is a government problem. But up to today, and we know Buhari is the president and the Minister of Sports. When he came in, I met him. First, I think they bound me a week or 2 weeks when he came in. I met him. He said, "Coach, I know about your problems." All he said was, "We don't have money." That was it. We don't have money. I think what he could have done was to go to the president, because I'm a legend. I've played, I've broke my leg, I've coached, I've done everything for this country. If I was an American, if I played for America, I have an American passport, American citizen, but I played for Nigeria. You understand? If I was in America now, or like Michael Jordan, they would take this thing upon themselves. Maybe if I was a British, the government has not done well when it comes to my case. I am not happy. I don't even know if Buhari doesn't watch TV or doesn't know what's going on. Or the minister is afraid to approach him. He's a president, he's a human being, we can approach him. If things like this happens, you know, the ex-internationals have been neglected. Not just me alone about my situation, every one of us. Now they say they give us houses after 27 years. We should jump up and clap. 27 years ago, you know, let's face the fact and we can say it. We're not insulting anyone. But I'm very, very disappointed. Very, very.
Okay, quick correction there. That was Samson Siasia, ex-international, ex-under-23 Eagles manager, ex-Super Eagles manager, and who recently got a lifeline after, the initial life ban from all football-related activities by FIFA. Meanwhile, Sports Minister Sunday Dare has rejected claims by Siasia, sensationally revealing that Siasia received cash from the ministry. Dare also vowed to expose the facts of the cash Siasia collected.
Siasia is not telling the truth, and the ministry and the government will come out with the facts of the cash he collected, of the efforts we made. He's not telling the truth.
Okay. Interesting twist. So who is telling the truth?
Another.
Or maybe I have my truth, you have your truth.
Truth is relative. That's what they're trying to tell us. But
is truth really relative?
That's what I was just going to talk about.
Facts.
The facts, okay, but then with this particular situation, FIFA had evidences against him, which it was nailed upon.
That's Siasia.
Siasia.
No doubt about that. He was complaining about not getting support from the nation.
I think he should ask himself, what kind of support was he expecting from the nation? Like, carry his case on their head, or I'm not saying don't support, but the level of the support.
Is that he committed the offense.
You committed an offense.
Allegedly,
you committed an offense, and whatever level of support they give to you,
you should be ready to accept it.
You should be ready to accept it.
So you shouldn't feel entitled
at all. You shouldn't. Definitely, you shouldn't feel entitled.
Do you think us internationals feel entitled?
I mean, no. That's not it. That's not the scenario now. I think it's two different.
Internationals don't feel entitled.
I mean, he's talking.
It's not just been about
I think he does. I think he brought it under an umbrella.
Yeah.
But for this particular case, internationals do not feel entitled. But this particular issue, for me, it was wrong.
Yeah, for me, I think in this situation right now, like she rightly said, you don't feel entitled. You are guilty of doing something very bad that has actually portrayed the image of the country bad. And no matter how little the support they have given to you, you should be able to, to accept it. Let's take a look at the case of Ryan Giggs. I mean, when he was actually involved in that particular incident, he was sidelined totally from the national team. As a matter of fact, he was supposed to be inducted to the Hall of Fame, so to say, but he wasn't. And, that says a lot about the fact that, okay, if you're doing something, we don't want to be associated with all bad things that you're doing. So I think to this point in time, and even look at what the minister has said, they have actually supported him financially. If that is true, what more are you asking?
Tunde, look at it from this angle as well. From the other side of the divide, I've spoken in favor of the government. I want to speak in favor of Siasia too now. When Salisu Yusuf was in the same situation, when he was caught red-handed, we know how he was protected by the NFF, so much that he got his job back. So I feel like there could have been a common ground.
Maybe these are slightly different situations.
There could. Maybe slightly different.
In that case,
the support.
In that case,
Salisu had the support of the NFF so much that they protected him so much that he got his job back after 1 year out.
That was after the ban.
They could have been.
He was protected.
He served the ban.
He served the ban, yes. But he was also protected by the NFF. That's what I'm saying. Maybe
how is getting his job back protection?
Please simplify it.
Exactly.
When I talk about ban, it served the ban, and people. I recall at that point there were talks about if that's being a slap on the wrist or if that was adequate enough punishment to have given Salisu Yusuf for what he was accused of doing. He was accused of taking a bribe to allow players. Now I'm just saying that there could have been a common ground here between Siasia and the government, and not Siasia.
We don't know the kind of protection that might be given to Siasia later after this ban as well.
Maybe we'll get a job too.
We can't say.
Then again, before we move on from this swiftly, let's also look at the gravity
of the offense.
One is collecting money to get a player into the team,
and one was
to fix a match. Which one is worse?
Match fixing absolutely is worse.
None is better. As far as I'm concerned,
none is better.
I mean, there is a situation like
serious offenses.
Serious offenses. In a particular competition right now, there are some set of people that are trying to impose player on coaches. As I'm speaking to you right now,
serious offenses.
Okay.
And it's not supposed to be. No, that's a fact, actually.
That's a fact?
Yeah.
Maybe your fact.
Yeah, my fact.
You're that person's fact.
He's privy to some information.
Exactly, I am. But,
okay. Let's quickly talk about Nigeria versus Mexico. Home Eagles get US visa to undergo COVID-19 tests later today. Members of the home-based Super Eagles team have been issued US visas ahead of next month's international friendly against El Tri of Mexico. The Eagles will leave for United States of America on Wednesday for that particular game. Now, we focus on the Euros right now. 2 games played yesterday after extra time. So, to let you know that it went all the way, Croatia defeated by Spain 5-3, and of course, Switzerland, surprisingly,
shockingly,
Kylian Mbappe, Antoine Griezmann, Paul Pogba, all of
Karim
them.
Benzema. I mean, all of those great guys in the team.
Well, Switzerland knocked them out of the competition. We'll take a break right now on the program for the BBC Premier League updates. What are we to expect later today? England versus Germany, and of course Sweden against Ukraine. Remember, we've mentioned earlier some dark horses that you find, especially in Euros. The likes of Denmark, the likes of Switzerland. But this is supposed to be Belgium's year.
Czech Republic.
Let us wait to see.
Golden generation of Belgium.
The Premier League update is up next.
BBC Premier League update from the home of Premier League football.
Hello, I'm Andy Barwell at the BBC Sports Centre. The Chelsea defender Cesar Azpilicueta and Manchester City winger Ferran Torres both scored for Spain in a 5-3 extra-time win over Croatia at the European Football Championship. In the quarter-finals of the Euros, Spain will take on Switzerland. Manchester United's Paul Pogba had been on target for France in a 3-3 draw after extra time against the Swiss, but Switzerland, skipper by Arsenal's Granit Xhaka, took the penalty shootout 5-4. Well, Tuesday sees a much-anticipated clash at the Euros. It's England against Germany at Wembley Stadium. The England skipper, the Spurs striker Harry Kane, says he needs to start scoring again and is also demanding more goals from his team.
We want to create chances for not just me, but for all our attacking players and trying to get into those areas which are going to cause Germany problems. So, yeah, we've been working on that. We've had a lot of time to work, a lot of time to think about it. It's now just down to us to go out there and show it.
Police are investigating reports that a threatening banner was left near the home of the former Liverpool boss Rafa Benitez, who is set to join Everton. Benitez's arrival would be contentious, as many Everton fans are opposed to the Spaniard after he once described them as being a small club in 2007. He will be the first manager to lead the neighbouring clubs since the 1890s. And Leeds United are keen on Barcelona's Spanish defender Junior Firpo, who would cost them around $18 million. The former Real Betis player is among several targets for Leeds, who are looking for a new left-back, but they face competition from both Italian giants AC Milan and Inter Milan, as well as Premier League rivals Southampton. For more football news from the BBC, go to bbc.com/football.
BBC Premier League update from the home of Premier League football.
Okay, great to have you back. We need to leave right now, but of course, we must touch base on the really important ones. Well, quickly, for the 2 games that will come today in the Euros, Germany, England, Blessing, you want to pitch? We don't have more time, so maybe just...
Germany.
Okay, Sweden, Ukraine.
Sweden, I think this is more balanced. I would say maybe the Ukraine would actually hedge this one.
Slightly. Well, it is what it is. In the Copa America, Argentina defeated Bolivia yesterday, Uruguay versus Paraguay. I see a lot of CR7 fans, now shifting their attention to the Copa America. They want Argentina out because they don't want Lionel Messi going all the way. But I understand. I see you guys.
Agenda was
but in the process, Lionel Messi has actually become Argentina's most capped player. After he captained the Albiceleste in their 4-1 win over Bolivia at the Copa America. So the Starman is still going really, really strong.
Until meet Chile.
That's what you say. Blessing, what have we got on Twitter?
Real quick on Facebook, Ewen Daniel says, when CRCR was making money, how many people did he help? Nobody wants to associate himself with such situations like match fixing. He should take heart and move on. And Regina Michael says, I never expected that. All that's talking about Switzerland knocking out France. Did you see Pogba's goal coming? I didn't see that too. He's asking. Teamwork made the Swiss win. Kudos to them. Next is Germany. Obenke Francis says Mbappe is really very good, but is still learning. He summed up their evening, too selfish, he says.
Okay, well, the quarterfinals pairing is out
for Copa America. Yes, indeed. It's Peru against Paraguay, Brazil against Chile, Uruguay against Colombia, and Argentina against Ecuador.
Easy one for Argentina.
You think? They should learn from Switzerland. It may not be easy.
Blessing for it. Thank you.
Thanks for having me this morning.
Fermi Adibwega,
thank you so much for having me.
Let's go. Let them see.
Let's go.
Thanks this morning. Thanks to Goke. Sport Bank second half will be back later this evening at 6:30. My name is Tunde Olawuwo. Have a wonderful Tuesday and bye-bye.
Splash FM 105.5.
What do you need in a safeguard?